guess 1985's Teen Wolf. This movie is more comedy than horror movie. It's your typical 80s B movie, and though not great, it did spawn a sequel, a cartoon series, and an MTV series. Teen Wolf was one of the first scripts written by comic book icon and legend Jeff Loeb. You know, that guy that wrote Batman Long Halloween? But you may be asking, okay John, what makes this movie so special? And I can say, easy, Michael J. Fox. At the time, Michael J. Fox was a breakout television star on the television series Family Ties, portraying the Reagan-loving future millionaire entrepreneur Alex Keaton. Fox accepted this role before getting cast as his most legendary character, Marty McFly, which at the time Marty McFly was being played by Eric Stoltz. Now this movie came out the same summer as Back to the Future, only separated by 1 month. So you could essentially say that the summer of 1985 was the summer of Fox. Now this movie is your basic cheesy 80s movie. The hero is a loser who has loser friends, wants to stand out, has a crush on the most popular girl in school, all while his rival is the high school jock. Notice the pattern? But what makes the movie fun is the fact that our hero in the movie becomes the most popular kid in school, not because he got new friends, a cool car, or changed his style. Well, he did change his style, but he became a freaking werewolf. See, Scott comes from a long line of werewolves, but his father, in hopes that the curse had skipped Scott, never told him about it, which causes a bit of tension between the two.
You knew about this? You knew about this and you didn't tell me?
I was hoping I wouldn't have to. Sometimes it skips a generation.
Now, the initial transformation scene where Scott turns into the werewolf for the first time is just a series of cutaways. As each time they cut away, they add more and more of the prosthetic makeup. It wasn't done in the same way as the Lon Chaney Jr. Wolfman, or the effects were even on par with that of the American Werewolf in London or The Howling. So the transformation scene is not one of the most memorable. But what always amazed me about this movie was the fact that during one of the basketball games, Scott gets piled on, and when he loses control of his emotions and wolfs out, the crowd, instead of running in terror, just accepts Scott as the werewolf and just cheer him on. And I'm like, what the fuck? Now Scott becomes the most popular kid in school while getting the attention of his crush, but at the same time he ostracizes his friends Styles and Booth. And Booth has always had feelings for Scott and has kept it secret. And then he has to realize that he himself and the wolf can be one and the same instead of two different personalities. Now, one of my favorite scenes is the van surfing scene. That scene, along with the Beach Boys Surfing USA, always stood out to me as one of the most memorable moments in B-movie history and 80s movies for that matter. Though this movie hasn't held up quite as well over the years, it's still a coming-of-age movie about trying to be someone you aren't, all while rediscovering who you are. Though it's nothing special or groundbreaking, it's still one of my all-time favorite movies, and I still pop it in my DVD player every now and then. Just want to say thank you guys for joining me for another episode of the 60 Days of Fright. This has been your old buddy John, and I'll see you again next time on Behind the Fiends. Ooh.